Well, looks like I got a problem. Look what we got going on here. Gnarly backlash. Well, today I want to show you guys how to fix a backlash and how to tune up your baitcaster so this doesn't happen. So when this happens, it's because either when you cast it out, it runs into something. It's because the spool here spins faster than your lure is going out, because when you first cast it, all the speed comes out right away, and then it slows down as it gets farther out from the pole. You know, so sometimes it'll happen when you go to cast and you hit a tree branch or something right before you throw it out, and yeah, it just bunches up on you. It's backlash, or bird's nest they call it sometimes. But the best way to fix it is, as soon as it happens, don't pull on the string. Make sure you don't pull on the string, because you'll cause it to tighten up and it'll get deeper into the rest of the knot. So what you want to do is you want to just pull this stuff out. And it sounds like you're working backwards, but that's what you want to do. You want to pull all this stuff out. I got a good one here. You want to pull all this stuff out. You want to work all this bunched up stuff, you want to work it and get it loose. I'll show you here in a second. Now see, if you look, you see how the string here, it's got other pieces of string looped around it, like right here. You can see how it's looped around right there. That's what, when it overlaps like that, that's what locks it up and makes it bunch all up like that. See? Can you see that right there? How it's looped around in those spots right there? That's what you want to find, and you want to grab and pull out. You want to pull all that stuff out of the way. See how they loop around like that? That's the stuff you want to get, and you want to, oops, sorry about that. You want to pull all that stuff out. You want to get it all out of there. See all that? How it's wrapped around itself? I'm going to get all that jumble out of there. See that? See how it pulls free now? There. You want to go slow, because it'll end up doing that again. Especially if you got a really bad one. I purposely did this so I could have a good example of a bad one, of a bad backlash. This one's terrible. I didn't mean to make it this bad, but it's a good example. So you just want to keep loosening that stuff. You see how it keeps, you just want to keep pulling that stuff loose. See? And it'll slowly just come apart. See how you just keep pulling that stuff apart? See? That's exactly what I'm talking about, friends. That's what happens right there. See how it's wrapped around like that? You want to pull that stuff loose and see how it just comes right apart when you do that. Boom. There we are. reel it back up now. So when you first get your bait caster, the best thing to do is take your tension wheel right here and tighten it all the way up like this. Tighten it all the way back till it can't be tightened anymore. And then take your brake right here and tighten that all the way up. See, if you can see, it says max right there and it says free right there. So basically, when this brake right here, it's like a friction brake. So when you cast it out, like if you're using, say, a lighter lure, when you cast it out, it's gonna go out slower than if you're using a heavier lure. When you use a heavier lure and you cast it, it comes out a lot faster and goes a lot farther out. So when it's doing that, if you're using a lighter lure, like right now I'm just using 3, see, that's all I got on here, which is pretty light. So what you want to do is, if you're using something lighter, what I usually do to start with is go all the way back to max, lock it all the way back, and then I'll usually click it, you know, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, loosen it up. And then what you want to do is you want to click the release, and what you'll see is when you do that, what will happen is, I'll show you here. When you do that, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to, when you release it, you want to look at your lure and then slowly start loosening up the tension till your lure slowly drops to the ground. Because if it goes quick, once it hits the ground, it'll backlash on you again. Not as bad as when you cast it, but it'll happen, and you don't want that. You want it to be able to slowly fall, and when it hits the ground, it stays just perfect here. So I'll show you in 2 parts here. So there, right now, my tension is totally tightened up. So you want to slowly release it until it falls like that. See how that fell nice and slow? I'll do it one more time. See that? Now this is what happens on the reel end. See how nothing happened, no backlash happened? Now watch when I loosen it way up. That's when it's too loose and it falls really quick. You want to pull that out. If that happens, you just want to pull it out and then bring it back. I hope you guys can see this, and then tighten the tension back up. See, it still did it. You want it to go nice and slow. See that? See how that's how you want it. And then the brake, like I said, I would just keep it, turn it all the way to max, and then loosen it up, 4 or 5, and then play around with it. And like I said, the heavier the lure, you're gonna have to adjust these a couple, mostly the tension. The brake, you really only want to mess with the brake if it's kind of more of a how far out you want to cast type of thing. In my opinion, I should say. But yeah, that's the basics. You know, and as that's the basics, and as you use your baitcaster, you'll get a feel for it, and you'll get a feel for it when you are switching out lures. I mean, a baitcaster is mostly used for heavier baits, and you use a spinning rod for lighter baits, finesse baits, and that sort of thing. But I use my baitcaster for light baits too. You just get a feel for it over time. You get a feel for the reel you're using, and you know. So, yeah. I hope everyone has a good day.